Okay, well, welcome everybody this morning to the Licensing and Gambling Act Subcommittee. It's 29th of March 2021, 10:01, to now 2 probably by now. We will be operating this meeting by the Teams protocol. So may I remind you to turn your phones to silent, use the hand function or the chat if you wish to speak, otherwise leave it down. And nothing in the chat other than you've broken connection or there's difficulties. No chat about the actual cases this morning. Okay, so that being said, we'll go into, I've had my welcome. I do want to mention a member of the licensing committee today who is not on the subcommittee here today, but Rydian is very unwell, has been in hospital, and I'm sure we want to wish him a speedy recovery. So good wishes to Councillor Misen.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So then Nadine, if you would please take the roll call.
Yeah, of course, thanks, Chair. So we got Councillor Suzanne Paddison.
Present.
Councillor Dave Whiteblock.
Present, thank you, Nadine.
Councillor Hugh Jones.
Yes, present, thank you.
Councillor Carolyn Edwards.
Present, thank you.
Neil Chapel.
Present.
Gavin White.
Present.
And Tammy Davis.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nadine. So we'll commence the meeting of part 1 then. Item 1 is declarations of interest. You have the reports before you. I assume that you've all read them. Does anybody have any declarations of interest regarding those premises and people applying?
Not a declaration of interest as such, Chair, but item number 5, the cider one. Phil Samuels, the applicant, is well known throughout Carmarthen, but he's not known personally to me.
That's fine then. I presume, Gavin, yes, no problem there. No problem. No, thank you, Councillor. I don't think you need to fill out anything that you just know of him.
Yeah.
As much as the community would. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. On that basis then, Councillor Jones, I thank you very much for attending as our substitute. You may stay if you wish to carry on with the committee, but we actually don't need you any further. So if you have somewhere else or something else to do, I thank you for your presence, but you may leave if you wish to. Okay, we'll go along then to part 1, item 2. Application for a grant of a premises licence, 8 Ballers, on pages 3 to 20 on your bundle, and I will ask Neil to take the committee through this application, please.
Thank you, Chair. Agenda item 2, as you said, is a grant of a premises licence. It's for a new premises called 8 Ballers, located at Unit 3, Tiro Saffin Station Road, Port Talbot. The applicant, Chair, is 8 Ballers Limited. The application came in, it received 2 representations, one from South Wales Police and one from our Environmental Health section. Both requested additional conditions be attached to the licence. You'll also note that the police requested the terminal hour for the supply of alcohol be reduced by 20 minutes, just to allow sufficient time for drinking up. The applicant has agreed to the imposition of the additional conditions, and the report has come before members today simply for approval. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chappell. Any members of the committee wish to ask any questions or place a comment about this application?
No.
No? Okay, then I'll take you to the recommendation on page 9 of the report, that members determine the application after considering all relevant representations, which obviously includes your papers that you've all read. Do I have a mover for this?
I'll move, Chair.
Seconder? Thank you, Carolyn. That is approved. Thank you very much. So we'll move along then to, oh, I beg your pardon. I've got this new mod govern. I'm still battling. I'm still battling with it. Okay, bear with me. Item 3, which is agenda item 3, which is again an application for a grant of premises licence, this time for raw beer 27 Addison Road. Mr. Chappell?
Yes, thank you, Chair. As you said, this is a grant of a premises licence for raw beer, 27 Addison Road. The applicant is a Mr. Asher Ronald. There were representations received in respect of this application from the South Wales Police and the Legal Regulatory Services Officer, the licensing team, and they both requested additional conditions be attached to the licence. The applicant has agreed to the imposition of these conditions, and the report is before members today for approval. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chappell. Anybody have any questions or comments about this application?
Yes, please,
Carolyn? Yes, Carolyn?
I can see Neil is recommending for approval, but it still looks a bit dodgy to me. I mean, the building looks totally inadequate for, you know, safety-wise. And you notice, like in a village or even a small town, people will know that beer, alcohol is being stored there. That just looks so, you know, able to be broken into then. So that would be my concern.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. Yeah, I do see what you're saying. I was surprised to see that the South Wales Police had just agreed this building and the security measures. However, they have approved it, and it is their duty as well as ours for the prevention of crime and disorder as one of our licensing objectives. So I would go with their professional advice. Their recommendation is, you know, they wanted the extra measures and they've been agreed. I'm willing to go with that as well. So are you saying you wish to vote against it, or?
No, Madam Chair, I think if the police and our staff are saying for approval, I will go along with that. But I just wanted to point.
Yes, I had similar concerns. And we have mentioned them. We've given them due regard, but we rely in basically this committee on what the police have actually agreed with the applicants, and maybe going forward things will change. So they may feel they want to do more and more. So as the business grows. So on that basis, then I will take you to the recommendation. I beg your pardon. Just
Excuse me.
On page 24. I'm sorry, on page 24 again, that the members determine the application after considering all relevant representations. Could I ask for a mover, please?
Sorry, Chair. I'll move. I'll move that, Chair, before I drowned.
Thank you. Do you second, Councillor Edwards?
Yes, I'll second.
Okay, and I agree as well. So that is approved also. So we'll go on then to the third item today, which is item 4, which would again be an application, beg your pardon, of a premises license for Aldi, the new store that was approved for planning a few weeks ago. Mr. Chappell?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, as you said, this is agenda item 4. It's a new premises license for Aldi, which is going to be based at Neath Abbey Road in Neath. The applicant being Aldi Stores Limited. There were representations received in respect of this application from the police, and they requested additional conditions be attached to the licence. The applicant has agreed to the imposition of these conditions, and the application is before members today for approval.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chappell. Anybody got anything to question or comment about on this application? They are, as it says in the reports, a generally recognised licensing company, and they do well with their security and all that sort of thing. So the recommendation.
Tesco and other stores, do they sell alcohol up until midnight? Are the same hours for all of the licensed stores?
At Tesco, which is the closest premises to Aldi, has a license, a 24-hour license in Neath. Without looking at my notes, I think Morrison's are midnight or 11 o'clock. Lidl, believe they close at 10 or 11 o'clock.
Okay,
They shut
thank
the
you.
whole store then, though, don't they? They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is that okay, Councillor Edwards? Yep. Councillor Mrs. Edwards, I got all confused then. Okay. If there are no other comments or questions, I will take committee to the recommendation, which is on page 40, which again is to determine the application after considering all relevant representations. Do I have a mover, please?
I'll move, Chair.
Thank you. Seconded.
Second.
And I also agree. Thank you very much. That is approved as well. And then I will take the next item is item 5, which is the application for a premises license once more for a Austringer cider. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Neil Chappell, can you take the committee through this?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Agenda item 5, you're right, it's a grant of a premises licence for Austringer cider. The premises address is care of Windways, 50 Avon Road, Dyffryn, Rhondda in Port Talbot. The applicant being a Mr. Philip Samuel. There were representations received in respect of this application from South Wales Police and the Legal Regulatory Services section, being the licensing team, requesting that additional conditions be attached to the license. I just need to point out that in the appendix from the South Wales Police, there is an error with the address.
Yes.
It refers to the previous application for Aldi rather than the address that should be specified in this application.
Oh, thank you for pointing that out. That is just
Okay,
an administrative error on the typing. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
The applicant has agreed to the imposition of the conditions, and again, the application is before members today for approval.
Thank you. Anybody wishing to comment or question on this application? I'd just like to say it's nice to see somebody doing something original. I haven't heard of any. I don't know, Mr. Chappell, if we have anything comparable already, but you know, fair play, they're going to give it a go. So I don't particularly like cider, but it won't be for me, but it obviously wish them well if this is approved. So can I ask somebody to move, please?
I'll move the recommendation, Chair.
Thank you. Seconded. Carolyn.
Yes,
and I concur, I concur as well. So that's all. It's very difficult when there's only 3 of us. So that is actually approved as well. That is the sum total of the items before the subcommittee today. I'd like to thank you all for your attention and your contributions and close the meeting. Thank you.
Nice and
Thank
quick.
you all.
It was nice and quick, yeah. Well, I think, Neil, we were thinking about these rubber,